Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the shop. Today, a treat especial. We got our we got our one Patreon supporter holding up the entire channel. We got one guy out there. We'll call him Larry. Okay. So Larry says, "Look, man, I've seen these things all over YouTube. I want to see what you got to say about it." So we got ourselves, and it doesn't happen very often on this channel, but went out and got ourselves something brand spanking new, fresh off of the Smith & Wesson assembly line. It is a brand new Smith & Wesson CSX, and as you found out from the title. But what we are going to do today is so I haven't seen this thing. It got sent over to the FFL. I got over to pick it. I went over there to pick it up. We haven't seen this thing at all. And what we are going to be doing is we're going to open this thing up. Essentially, the only thing that we have seen is we opened up the box, we took a look inside, and went, yeah, okay, that's a CSX in there. So we are going to take a look at it, and we're just going to see what we think right off the top. I've been avoiding, since Larry told me he wanted to do this, I said, good old Uncle Hank Farrell will do this for you. But what we're going to have to do is, I'm like, I do not want to see any information. I'm completely unbiased here. This is going to be my first thoughts. This is the first time I'm seeing it along with you guys. So let's make a camera adjustment. We'll dive into the video. Okay, readjust it back on the bench. Again, brand new. We know that it does say CSX here on the side of the box. Now you're going to see a lot of this stuff. These things are going to be all over YouTube. And for good reason. What for? Okay, we actually got one in here. It's here. So what for? The whole thing. We're going to see tons of these things on YouTube because they're not terribly expensive, and it's an interesting new thing. It's an interesting new thing to review. So I do think, from what I've been able to discern, Smith & Wesson is not going to drop. The Chief Special. CSX stands for Chief Special 10. They're not going to drop the Chief Special name just willy-nilly on anything. I don't think I've ever said willy-nilly ever on camera. Okay, so anyway, let's get this 686 carcass out of here. We're jazzing up another, again, I'm rolling out lots of new phrases today. Jazzing up, I don't think I've ever said that either. So we're fixing up that 686 for a buddy. So anyway, what we've got here, we've got our fantastic box. This thing doesn't come with any kind of case. I think we're trying to keep the price point low here. And to me, it seems like, okay, so we're gonna be doing that just in some of the packaging and some of the shipping materials. But either way, we got the gun in here. We got another magazine. Ships in 2 mags. Thought that was cool. Little chamber flag. That's nice. All right. What else we got in here? Manual, don't shoot yourself, fantastic. And then we've got, looks like we got a chamber lock, and some grip panel inserts, a backstrap insert so we can change our reach. Yeah, that's probably about it. And that's all that's really going on the inside of here. We got to ship it with a good old gun lock. I'm sure all of us got really nice collections of those hanging around. All right, so let's just get to it. Let's get this puppy out of here. Like I said, so I went through ships with a mag. Okay. Huh. Okay. Sure. Okay. All right, ships with a mag. So we've got one mag here, and another one. It's got some sort of base plate adapter thing on it. Like I said before, I have not seen any of these, and we're empty and clear. A brand new gun. I mean, it should not ship with anything in it, but we definitely want to make sure. Okay, so I have not seen one of these at all before. So this is my first time putting eyes on it. So we've got a grip. This is obviously going to be interchangeable. Some really nice stippling here on the front. That's kind of cool. Yeah, interesting. Trigger face. and some very controls where we would expect to see them. You know, this is all rounded over. There's no sharp edges on here. That's kind of cool. So the Chief Special goes back pretty far. Obviously 10 generations, but the idea here is that with the Chief Special, it's like, okay, this is what the police chief would carry, right? This is a gentleman's gun that's made to work. And I think that so far, just on the face value and what I can see from this thing right off the hop, that seems to be the case. This definitely seems like a gentleman's gun, something that's just a little bit more elegant, but is definitely manufactured with the idea of, hey, we're gonna put some miles on this thing. Feels pretty good in the hand. That trigger, if you got small hands, man, that I mean, you can see how far my fingers got to come out. Has to come out of that trigger guard in order to get flat on the face of that trigger. So this thing is definitely a second knuckle reach around. So I think, let's see how we're gonna get this apart. We've got an ambi. Okay, I see what's going on here. Okay, so we've got ambi. Slide releases here, and ambi safeties. That part's very cool. I dig that. And I think what we can do is expect a pretty similar. So let me zoom this in here. You know what? We'll bring this whole thing down. Let's readjust. All right, now we got this thing readjusted down on the bench so you guys can see what's going on. We've got this ambi, like I was saying before. We've got an ambi slide release. Ambi slide releases on either side. There's a pin here because this is joined. I expect this is going to have a little bit of a different takedown than maybe what we're used to seeing on a lot of 1911 stuff. Something I did want to point out is that this beaver tail back here is actually polymer material, which I like. To me, that's cool. This thing takes a little spill or a dump out of my pocket when we're in the middle of training this thing, because this is made to work, right? This is made to be shot a lot. So this thing takes a little dump and lands on that beaver tail. What we're going to be able to do is probably, I don't expect Smith & Wesson has got a lot of spare parts for this puppy out right now, but we can probably replace this in here beaver tail. I think that's a pretty cool feature. So let's take a look at what's going on here. Okay. Huh. Hang on. I gotta get the flashlight. I can't tell. I'm gonna show you what's going on here in just a second. Okay. Just answered my own question. Yeah, I just answered my own question. Okay. So let me we're gonna have to zoom. I mean, really zoom. All right, follow me here because I know you guys are trying to follow along. So we can see right here, you can see, and I'm pointing it out, you can see the slide moving, and then behind it, you can see that window extends. And it also extends over here too. You can see that window? So I suspect that because you're supposed to hold, I would imagine that you've got to hold this thing and then remove it. But I shining my flashlight down inside of this hole. Word to the wise, anybody who's watching this video, that's how you take. I mean, there might be other videos out there that actually show you how to take it down, but your takedown notch is here. It's not back here. So let's see if I'm right. Yeah, got it. Okay, right there. There's our slide. There's our slide release. Set that off to the side, and now that thing just comes right apart. So there's our frame, and then here's the top end. One thing that I am concerned about on this is people taking this thing apart and then immediately not putting the safety on after they get that thing off of there. So if this safety doesn't come up right away, sorry, I'm out of frame. If the safety doesn't come up right away, you could run the risk of dropping this hammer outside, essentially out of battery. And I don't see anything in here that you want that hammer falling onto. I'm gonna try and hold this captive and see where this goes. It looks like it's gotta stop internally, but with an aluminum frame, man, I bet you can't do that more than about 3 times before you total the frame on this little guy. So I would not, anytime I take that slide off, that safety is going to go up. I'm going to leave that just like that so I don't mess that up for myself. Anyway, so now we're taking a closer look at the slide here. This thing looks pretty cool. Looks nicely made. A lot of these round, soft edges. None of this stuff is going to get caught up. We've got a nice flat front here on the front of this sight, front of this rear sight. I suspect I'll be able to cock that off of some jeans. I know that that's important to a lot of people. We'll check that out. Captive recoil spring. It's a flat spring. I mean, it's a coil. I understand that it is helical. That this is a helical spring, but however, the spring itself is bladed. It is not round. Just a note. To me, that's not of consequence. We've got a barrel here. Heavy little barrel. That's a lot of meat on there. I suspect, some more commentary, I suspect that this thing is probably made with 30 Super in mind. And to me, this sort of like, it's a pretty long grip. To me, it seems like it's definitely made with 30 Super in mind. We've got some ID here. So when this thing goes back to the Smith & Wesson plant, this can get scanned, and if it's ever used, say it's used in a crime or proven used in a crime, they'll put another mark in there, and then you'll have, if the gun is returned or if it's not destroyed, they'll put another mark in there, or if it's used in a shooting, even if it's a good shoot. So these do not tamper. I mean, really, a brand new gun, don't tamper with anything, but definitely don't tamper with those marks. Those actually do have quite a bit of meaning. But yeah, so it looks like we've got a 1911 style-esque trigger safety for that firing pin there. So we're definitely not going to get a drop. We definitely don't have a drop fire. That's pretty cool. So a lot of interesting features on this little guy. We're gonna do we'll do a shoot video if you guys want to see it. Like I said, there's going to be tons and tons of stuff that's going to come out on this CSX, just because it's not terribly expensive, and this is something that everybody and their brother who has a YouTube channel, me included, is going to be able to put out information on. But I do think that this is going to get chambered in super carry, 30 super carry, and I think that's kind of what Smith & Wesson had in mind, especially with capacity, because you'll be able to, if you can raise the capacity on this from 2 by 2, that's going to be pretty. That's going to be pretty incredible if you're going to be able to raise that kind of capacity. I am very interested in the idea of having it in 30 super carry. Now, right here, being in the middle of New York, you know, we've got our this is my current everyday carry. But being right here in upstate New York, we're limited at a capacity of 10. So, do I think this is a game changer? There's a lot of people out there that are talking about this as saying, no, it's not, yes, it is, no, it's not, yes, it is. Look, the thing is that this very well could be a game changer for you, because this, to me, looks like something that is built to go to work. This looks like something that is made to be shot and trained with. So we see a lot of people with the 930, anybody carrying a 938 or a Micro 9 is going to find this very attractive, because we're up here carrying 10 rounds of 9mm in a package that's this small, and it doesn't weigh a whole lot either. So price point on this thing is really low. The grip and the stippling that's on the grip is pretty awesome. I think that this is a really, as far as the package goes and the features that are available here, I think this is a really interesting package. I can't wait to see what we end up coming out with some lights. We end up doing lights, or if they end up doing like a super micro optic ready. I mean, everybody's doing an optic ready version. To me, I kind of like on a carry gun. Really, we only need a gutter back here in the front sight, but that's just me. Everybody's got a different story. All right, Uncle Hangfire, what do you think about the new CSX? So, do I think this is going to be a game changer? It could be, This very well could be. If you're a Micro 9 carrier enthusiast, we'll call you a SIG 938 guy. This absolutely could be a game changer for you. What for me as a pistol instructor, somebody who teaches classes, I think that this thing, to me, this seems like a handgun that's made to go to work. This seems like something that that when somebody shows up on the range and I see this is going to tell me that they've at least done some kind of training, that they're at least working on shooting better. Does it have some things that are a little weird? Yeah. The takedown, I'm not a huge fan. Anything that you need to do we call it field stripping for a reason, right? I understand this isn't necessarily going to become somebody's like high mile racer, but for field stripping, we should be able to do it in the field. I shouldn't have to have a punch in order to take it apart. To me, a little hokey, the takedown on that. I'm not a big fan. Is it a good enough sacrifice to have an ambi slide release? I would like to have that argument because I think it might just be worth it. But still, I think there's just got to be a better way for a takedown there. And then, like, is this me? Tell me, okay? Tell me in the comments. Am I missing something here? Like, I know that this is an extended mag. Extended, right? Not for New York, but an extended mag. But, like, if this is why does this have more parts? Like, why? Am I missing something? Like, I know that this is an extended mag. Like, this is supposed to be, like the extended flush fit mag, but I don't understand what's going on there. Why not just use a different base plate? Because this, to me, this just seems like I'm gonna go training in the wintertime, and I'm gonna eject that thing right into the snowbank. I feel like that's just gonna immediately get lost. And then when we do actually use the flush fit magazine, this is great and all, but I mean, is that really a tight fit? I don't know about that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you liked the video, like the video. If not, that's fine. I don't agree with you, but that is fine. I will catch you guys in the next one.